Here I am starting a new phase on the project, but before I go at the front end, as I was intended to do, this turned up in the post today. It's always good to get a new box of bits. Let's see what we've got. It's my silicone hoses. So when I went down to see Raymond and Fiona, they advised that I should be fine putting silicone hoses onto my shadow. So I've ordered these. Finbar, you wanted to know where I was getting them from, so this is the company. I picked up the link from the LAA website. Somebody recommended them. Auto Silicone Hoses Limited. There's the address. So I'm going to give these a go. They look nice quality. The other one that was suggested was Demon Tweaks. Of course, they make or they provide lots of parts for performance cars. They were a little bit more expensive, and obviously because they deal with many parts, this company only just deals with silicone hoses. So you'd expect them to be a bit cheaper. So let's have a little look, see what we got. So we've got one big elbow, two little elbows. They're going to do something along the lines of that. Oh dear, they seem to be different sizes. That's not great. I think somebody sent me the wrong sizes. Same part number, but the exterior seems to be slightly different. I think I'll be contacting the company. That's a real shame. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bit of a step there. See, they are the same part number. Identical, but the hose isn't identical, and I'm going to join that, so that's no good. And there's also this joiner here that was intended to join these two together. The ODs might be the same. Nah, they're not. There's not much in it, but I don't think I'm willing to accept that step. So this was my plan for these two with the alley joiner. I'm going to trim obviously the width off a little bit, because you can see it's a little bit wider than it needs to be, but they're going to replace that one there, which I think they will more than do that. I'll just have to send this one back and get all these two and get two that are identical. Yeah. Well, we've started a new phase in the project. It feels like we are on all of the tricky technical bits. I've got the wiring diagrams out. I've just noted something in the book here which I didn't notice before, which is my cable supply and the starter motor from the battery should be 10mm squared. Which is a bit of a blow because I did it with 6mm squared, so I've just ordered the correct stuff. I'll be repeating that one later. I've also realised that my engine, because it's the more modern type, needs a different rectifier. I found these two rectifiers in the box of bits that came with the plane, and spookily enough, they are both the correct model. It says in the book that I need this 264870 regulator, and it turns out that what I've got is 264870. So there's two of them. I've no idea whether they are faulty or whether they're any good. They've obviously been previously used. If anybody knows how I can test them with it before I run them up on the motor, let me know. But I'm probably going to select the best looking one of the two, which is this one, and give that a go. So that was a bit of a fine because they were about £70, assuming that it works. And I've got a new parcel turn up today for another little fiddly job. So let's have a look what's in there. So what have we got? That is my cable splitter, which frustratingly is exactly like the cable splitter that I had before that I sent back. I asked for the AML one, which was a screw fit. Really don't like the look of those ones, so I think I'll be ringing them tomorrow to see what I can get sorted. That is my fells for the end of the cable, and then I've got some new cable, Teflon lined, and a piece of inner, and then in here as well there should be some nipples. So they are carburetor nipples, so they go into these junction boxes. So this is the second 2-to-1 way splitter I've bought and that's turned up, and I'm really not impressed by the quality of these ones. They look very cheapy Chinese. It's just a push fit, as you can see there, which to me doesn't look great. You know, if it's on your motorbike and this falls apart where you can pull over on the side of the road, you can't do that in your aircraft. I like the look of the AML ones. There's an AML one on the choke cables at the moment, so this one's going to get sent back. I've just ordered a third one off of eBay, which is photographed as the AML one with the two parts screwed together, so fingers crossed that might be here by Saturday. It's Thursday tomorrow, and we might be able to get around to putting these cables together. So very frustrating. It seems to be taking me longer to get the parts these days than to actually do the work, but that's the key thing, getting the right parts. So after all that frustration, I've only got about 20 minutes left of this evening to play around, so I might amuse myself with stripping a few bits off. I can take off this old antenna, Raymond tells me, so I'm going to have a little go at that. I'm going to unscrew this and possibly have a go at drilling these pop rivets out. So that's my next job. Hopefully it'll save me a couple of grams here and there. I'll save all the bits and weigh them when I get them off to see what the net gain is. Right, I've drilled the heads off those pop rivets. Let's see if it'll come off. So that's the area removed. I'll pop that and the coax cable on the scales later and see how much I've saved. Well, it's been a very relaxing weekend. We've done nothing on the plane except for this that I've just done now. It's 9 o'clock at night, it's 28 degrees, so it's been barbecue and camping all weekend. But we have just taken that off, and in the war of put a bit of weight on, take a bit of weight off, that saved me 400 grams. So that's a little bonus. I've got another antenna to take off yet on the mid-wing, so that'll be another little saving. Little job I've done, which wasn't on film, was to replace my 6mm cable for my battery to start a motor with 10mm cable, because I had a bit of a read in the booklet and I'd missed the fact that it should be 10mm. So I've recreated that and refixed it. Auto silicon hoses. I've replaced my hoses for two that are similar diameter. They're still not absolutely bob on, but I think that's probably about as close as we're going to get. So my job now is to recreate the original hose in silicon. So there's the hose. Here's the weight test. The old one's 164 grams. Yeah, this one's 240. Got to get it properly on the scales. So 240. 160, nearly a third heavier. It is a third heavier. Let's hope it's higher performance.